Hey everybody, today on Active Self-Protection Extra, been a big discussion in our culture, in our society today about police use of force and particularly less lethal stuff. And there's been several things about police using specifically, beanbag rounds or rubber bullets, those kinds of things. So I sourced some of these beanbag rounds, these particular ones, super sock beanbag rounds. And let's see how accurate they are out of a pump shotgun. So straight up, I'm going to tell you guys that I looked for these online just for general purchase. The only place that I found available with these required law enforcement credentials. So I couldn't find them in a general sense available for people. And I'm not saying you want to load these as a self-defender for home use or anything like that. I think that if it's serious enough to have a gun out, then, go with a standard shotgun load. But in light of all these things, and particularly what I saw was people getting hit in the head with beanbag rounds and those things, and that can cause serious damage. Now, these ones are not called less than lethal, they're called less lethal. And we're going to have a video on the channel of a less lethal round being used very effectively to disarm a guy who was threatening a bunch of people with a sword. But I just want to see what kind of recoil we're going to get out of these, and then what kind of accuracy we're getting out of them. Now, straight up, I'm shooting that out of a Vang Comp Remington 870. This gun was made for my son. It is a very low profile wood stock. We're going to talk about it on another video, but it has got a Vang barrel, so it's a backboard barrel. And other than that, though, is a standard shotgun. So this is very similar to what you would see a police officer using if he was shooting less lethals. Now, you want to use a pump shotgun for these guys because they don't have near as much powder in them because they don't want it going 1,100 feet per second. You want one of these projectiles in here, and let me show it to you. You can see kind of the yellow. That's all sock. That's all beanbag, and I'll show it to you after we shoot it out of here. I've actually put a picture of one that I cut out on Instagram and on Facebook. But, you want that traveling about 300 feet per second tops is what you want. But let's go to 10 yards and we'll see how they function in the gun. Okay, we generally, again, use a pump shotgun for this because if you put these in a semi-auto shotgun, they're not going to cycle in the gun. But of course, a pump shotgun, I'm the one doing the cycling of the gun, so it should be fine. And all we have up here is we have a USPSA target, and I'm going to aim for the A. Now, I would argue that the reality is if I was actually aiming for a human, I would aim below where the A is, because the A on that, the center A, is kind of right at the sternum, and that's actually higher than I want, because if I'm doing less lethal stuff, I'm aiming for the visceral area. I'm aiming for the guts, and that whacks them really hard, hurts like the dickens, puts them down because of the pain. It doesn't, it's not designed to be hitting somebody in the chest. You'll break ribs and stuff like that. But just for the sake of accuracy right now, we're trying to see how accurate are these rounds at 10 yards. I'm standing at the 10-yard line. This will give us an idea if we shoot 3 of them. I'm going to pop 3 of them, and we'll see how accurate they are at 10 yards. Okay, so first of all, what you heard is almost no sound. I mean, it is a very low sound. Second thing that you heard, actually, it skittered all the way up the berm. I'll show you that. I'll probably have to climb up there and get it and see if I can. Third of all, pretty accurate. Again, I was aiming at the A, and it's a little bit low and left. Let's get a couple more and see how it does. Okay, so the thing that you can see after 3 rounds here, let's go ahead and pop that completely open, is let's go down and take a look at accuracy. As you can see here, 3 shots, I was aiming at the A all 3 times, and I got a little bit low left. Every shotgun is a special snowflake. I haven't done a ton with these particular sights. Probably just the fact that these rounds aren't going that fast. So again, I mean, you're talking a couple of inches of deviation. I wonder if we'll get that accuracy level if we go out a lot farther. Okay, now I'm back at 20 yards. Let's put a couple more in at 20 and see what kind of deviation we get. And this is where I think, of course, if I see somebody out at 20 yards and I want to get a hit with a less lethal like this on them, am I going to have to start kind of arcing it? And is this where we're going to start seeing some of those errors pop up that people are getting hit where they don't want them? Maybe. Is that going to be this detrimental at that kind of range? It's up in the air, but let's see what our accuracy standard is. Same thing, same point of aim. I'm going to aim on the A just so we're consistent. Okay. So let's go down and take a look, shall we? So now this time we had a lower set, right? First one here, second one there. So at 20 yards, it's about, I'd say, a good 8 inches low. is what it is. I don't know that I would shoot it any farther than 20 yards out, but that's probably about what this is designed for anyways. Let's grab one and let's shoot it at the wall and so I can show you what it looks like. So this is what it looks like. It is just a little cloth sock that's been tied off here. So it's kind of got like, you know, a tail on it, which gives it a little bit more stability. It's kind of like a shuttlecock, you know, a birdie in badminton or whatever. And it is filled with beads. Let's see what those beads look like. Inside a couple layers of cloth here, which is definitely, you know, trying to keep them in. You're not trying to lose them out there. You're trying to keep them inside. I just wonder if these are lead. They are. So what you can see here is it's a very small lead shot. You can, you know, my guess is that's probably like number 8 shot, but again, all contained inside of the beanbag. Now I know somebody's gonna ask me, John, why don't you shoot somebody with it? I'm not gonna do it, guys. This is one that people are saying, you know, again, the people who are in the know, these are not less than lethal, they are less lethal. They can work for crowd control, but I just can't find a way to do that safely. That would involve a minimum of risk to somebody, so the risk reward is just not there. Now, I know the answer to that. Somebody's gonna say, well, then why are they using it on protesters? Because again, it is an alternative to using a lethal round. A less lethal round gives them a chance that somebody who is an impending threat or is not quite a deadly threat, they can get out of the fight without having to shoot them with a lethal round. So it's definitely something. Are they accurate enough? I think they are. Out to about 20 yards, I think that you'll get close to what you're aiming at. Of course, recognize here out at targets at the range, we're shooting at stationary things and not moving things, so that changes stuff a bunch. But I just wanted you to get to know a little bit of this less lethal round.